Last week of spring practice. First of all, how have the first couple of weeks been, energy and effort-wise specifically?
Really, really excited, Ava. Really excited. I thought, guys been working hard. A lot of energy in practice. We have some guys injured, but for the most part, a lot of guys are practicing. So really encouraged by what I see.
Heading into the last week, what are the, I guess, priorities for, well, these last three practices?
Just try to finish. I feel like out of 12 practices that we've had up until this point, been really good practices. Try not to get anybody hurt at this point, and just finish strong.
What have you seen from Malcolm so far? I know Wags was talking about how you wanted to get his passing up and maybe his confidence up a little bit. From the beginning of spring ball to now, what, have you seen growth?
Yes, really encouraged. We've also been able to have Zach. Zach's been at practice. So two guys we weren't sure if we're going to be here to spring practice. The training room staff have done a really good job. Malcolm's pretty much practiced every practice. Been in a ton of drills besides the live ones. Done a lot of throwing in. I just feel so much better now. Because we stuck him in at the end of the season. He was play slot back the whole time. Um, but he got all the off season, all of these practices, with Coach Jasper. I just feel much better at this point than I did coming into spring practice.
Just with his confidence and him being comfortable and everything
And
like
just get
that?
him getting reps.
Yeah. Okay.
Just the amount of reps, a lot of, all the scaly reps, all the one-on-one passing, all the individual passing drills with Coach Jasper, um, all the meetings. Because like I said, we moved him into SMU games, so, he only had a couple months to be with Coach Jasper at quarterback. So I feel really good about where he's at. Like I said, we got Zach back. Garrett's had a good spring. Dalen's had a good spring too. All the quarterbacks. So I just encourage.
For Malcolm and Zach in particular, do you guys for spring ball set things specifically that you want to work on, or is it really just about getting them back in there and kind
No,
of in shape and
it's
everything?
both of them. We had to see what Zach could do. He can't
Right.
run as much. But Malcolm, we really want to get into all of our throwing situations. Even though we're not a throwing team, we know people are going to load the box up with him. And so it's a big emphasis for us to work on our passing. You know, People start trying to creep up their secondary that better not because this guy can throw the ball. He's just, we didn't throw the ball much with him just because he just got there. So he wasn't really familiar with all that stuff. But he was a quarterback in high school.
Is there a mental aspect to that a little bit? Just that I can do both of these things. I'm less vulnerable as a quarterback. He knows he has the speed. Just being able to have confidence in his arm, is that something that you wanted to address, or is that
I think just confidence in the overall offense
okay?
that we were still even a little bit tailored when he became a quarterback because we just put him in there. But he's at a point now he can run everything. All of the whole running option offense is that is at his availability. And throwing wise, you just feel good about all the things he's done. And then the key now is just to get him through the end of spring ball, all of the off season. But I feel much better now than I did at the beginning of spring ball.
Did he have to study a lot this spring? I mean, you said you kind of just put him in there and gave him a limited set of the playbook, or
Yeah, and he knew the offense,
yeah,
but just all the intricate things that the quarterback has to know.
because he had been working with Ivan.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just being in he's been in Ivan's meetings now. So, when he's at slot back, he knows what the A back does and kind of all those things. Well, when you're a quarterback, you need to know what everybody does, and you need to know why they're doing it and what's our philosophy behind running certain plays. And I feel like his understanding has improved dramatically, during spring ball.
In my experience, he's a pretty quiet guy. Does he have to be a super? I know he has to be a vocal leader in some sense because he's the quarterback. But does he have to be the guy running around out there? Do you have Anthony and Sean for that, just from a leadership standpoint?
I think you lead by who you are. Like Keenan wasn't a big vocal guy,
Right.
but people knew that he knew his stuff. He was so professional, and what he did, you knew he knew what he's doing, so you followed him. And Malcolm's getting that type of respect. That he knows what's going on. He's obviously a really good player, and he recognizes this. If I know what I'm doing, the respect factor from the players will come, and the leadership that I get from them will come just by knowing what I'm doing.
You mentioned Zach and Garrett, and I know you don't like to rotate through quarterbacks too much, but having those guys in your back pocket, do you plan on kind of just keeping them back there during the season and pulling them out when you need to?
Well, Ivan and I have been talking, and we feel like there's a place for both of them. For both Zach and Malcolm, and Garrett, and we can see using all three of them. Just we kind of look at the bowl game, kind of like just how they both played and they did well, and Our thoughts right now is not to limit him. You know, Zach rushed for 1,300 yards or whatever. What does Zach rush for?
Right. Keep him
Scott?
on the bench.
I mean, he rushed for a ton of yards.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, he's a good player,
Okay.
and so is Malcolm. So we're going to try to use them all. And Garrett's a good quarterback too.
I hear that. And I want to talk to you about Malcolm too.
Okay.
What have you guys been doing with him this spring? What were the priorities in terms of getting him reps, but also working on the passing mental
Well,
game?
first and foremost, was obviously, we're happy to even have him this spring because, with the foot injury, so we didn't expect him to get as many reps as he has gotten. So he's gotten a lot of reps. But yes, the main focus was the mental part, obviously just learning the offense, all the little ins and outs of what we do. And also a big thing, too, is just his passing. Last year, he threw an interception against SMU, and after that, he would not turn the ball loose. So we just got to get that confidence in throwing the football, and want to complete his first pass in the game, get that confidence going because he has everything else. So right now, it's just a matter of getting the confidence, throwing the football, getting better with his mechanics, and take it from there.
How's his arm?
He has a good arm. I mean, he throws a great deep ball against all the other things that we got to work on, those short routes and things like that. But again, if we're doing what we should be doing on offense as far as running the football, the passing game will be there for us, and be some nice, easy throws for him.
You're also going to have a good passer on the bench. Well, two good passers on the bench with Zach and Garrett. How do you guys manage balance the three of them?
We've talked about it. They'll all have a role. Obviously, Zach, rushed for 1,200-some yards last year in 6 games. So we definitely need that production. Gary came on in the end of some games and threw the football very well. So it's got to find a place for all 3 of those guys. It'd be great to be able to go into our last game of the season, healthy, not beat up because we've played all 3 of them. So we'll have a plan. It's got to be very smart with it and use it well. And hopefully by the end of the season, we're still full strength.
Coach Ken was talking about how Malcolm's learning all of the intricate things. Like
Yes.
what we talked about with Zach last year, just knowing what everyone else is doing on
Right.
the offense. How is he picking that up? What type of learner is he in that
Well,
regard?
the good thing for him is that he played A-back most of the season, so he kind of see the offense from the A-back side as well. So, but he's picking very, very fast. Again, he's doing some really good things. The main deal is just his confidence. But all the small things that are coming to him slowly but surely. Also, too, he's so hard on himself. I mean, he wants to be good. He studies a lot of film on his own. So the fire is there to want to be good and to not make mistakes. So when a kid has that burning fire inside him, that he wants to be good, he'll put the work in.
How much was Malcolm's development and that confidence a priority going into spring ball for the whole team? Like, was that kind of target number one, just getting the offense right? Or
I mean, it was a huge confidence builder for us. Again, he's going to be our starter going to the fall. So it'd be good to have him in the huddle, got to hear his voice, snap count, kind of get used to it. So it's always big to have that. But also just being able to go out there and run around. We look so much faster on offense, obviously. So that'll definitely help us. The biggest thing is just we got to play smart football, and again, with him being a trigger puller, has made great decisions and gets a chance to win football games.
And I know he's been limited, but he's been able to do everything that you wanted him to do in terms
Yes,
of
as
health
far
and
as everything
running
they
around.
want him to do is running around again. He's running around full speed, but we're kind of hey, Malcolm, slow down a little bit. But he just wants to play. Kid loves playing. He's very competitive. Again, doesn't say much. Very hard on himself, but just having him out here is been a big plus for us. And again, having Garrett's had a really solid spring. But obviously Zach couldn't go because of an injury. But again, the fall looks great for us when we come back. And again, find their roles for all 3 of those guys and go out and play.
Was Zach? I know he had the shoulder. He had shoulder surgery. Was
Yes.
that the injury you're talking about, or something?
Yes, shoulder surgery. Yes, indeed.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so when did you guys start talking about what they wanted you to do for spring ball? Like, was there a meeting where they're like, "Here's what we're focusing on"?
Basically, it was right after the last game. So after the last game, that's basically all the talks were with me and Coach Jasper. Is what I need to work on for next season, and from there on out, it's been coming out here, doing what we talk about in the meeting rooms and stuff like that. So.
What did they tell you after that last game?
It's time to get better at the things you're not good at, basically.
Okay.
So like
Fair.
throwing the ball, making decisions, checking to different defenses and stuff. So just working on that.
How much studying has that involved for you in the mental part, just wrapping your head around what everyone's doing on the offense?
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff you have to do on your own because you're not just gonna get it when the designated time is with your coach. So a lot of stuff on my own, like whenever I have free time, just thinking about stuff in my head or writing it down with a pad and pen. So
you were a quarterback in college. Is it college
school.
in high school? Is it kind of like going back to what you were doing with the throwing stuff, and just is it the same type of drills? Is it all coming back?
right, I would say not at first, but as I'm starting to get more comfortable and stuff like that, it's starting to get to where like it was kind of like high school. Like in high school, I was a lot more comfortable, but it's starting to get there.
How is being in so you were in the quarterback's meeting room as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
How's it being back there now? Do you feel like you understand things a little bit more? Is it coming a little slower?
Right, I actually understand what's going on.
Okay.
So, like, freshman year, it was kind of like a blur. I was behind Tago and Will, and they were in there, and they were answering questions that I had no idea what was going on. But as the year progressed, I started, like, understanding stuff, and now I'm in there, like, answering questions. I know what's going on, and I can, like, kind of talk to Coach Jasper with, like, in football, you know what I'm saying? Like,
in football?
Yeah, in football talk. So
okay.
That's good.
How's your confidence? It sounds like it's pretty good, but Jasper and Ken were talking about that was something they wanted to work up. But just in terms of leading the team, do you feel like it's good for them to hear your voice a little bit more and just get comfortable with you kind of pulling the trigger and all that stuff?
Right. Yeah, it's getting there. It was kind of tough at the beginning with the injury, not being able to be out in the field during fourth quarter and stuff like that, but now that I'm out in the field, I'm feeling better about that, and I think it's getting better.
Are you happy you have those, 3 games last season under your belt? Does it feel like that's helped at all, or how much has it helped?
I think it's all confidence. It helped me with my confidence. So I'm not going out next season starting my first game at quarterback, so that helps a lot.